This is Ben Davison. Subscribe to Stephen Icon.
Okay, so yesterday I was on my frequent haunt of Stamina for Sale, which is the YouTube channel hosted by Spencer Fearon and Tunde Jai. But Spencer Fearon, he was having a podcast, an interview with John Fury without Tunde. And the many things that they were talking about, one thing kind of like stood out to me. Well, there's plenty of things, but one of the things that really stood out to me was that John was saying that Tyson is going after the most amount of money that he can get. He's not up for underselling himself and all that kind of good stuff. And what John Fury's saying there is absolutely correct. And if you're fighting, listen, it doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank. You should always, never ever undersell yourself. Absolutely. But the problem with Tyson chasing the check, with Tyson chasing the money, is the fact that Tyson has previously said that he don't care about money. He's got more than enough money in the bank to last him, 10 lifetimes, 20 lifetimes. He can never spend it. He lives a very simple life. He don't need money. He'll fight Joshua for free at Wembley Stadium for free entrance, and it's going to be on regular TV and all this kind of stuff where nobody makes any kind of money, where he doesn't care about money. He's a Spartan. He's not a businessman. He's a Spartan. Which, had he not have said all that, him chasing the biggest check and asking for exorbitant amounts of money wouldn't be a problem. People wouldn't go, Tyson's being greedy, Tyson's this, Tyson's that, because people don't talk about that with Anthony Joshua. He demands a lot of money. People don't talk about that when it comes to, say, a Dillian Whyte, a Oleksandr Usyk and a Wilder and all that, because they don't talk about money, saying they don't need money. They don't do that. They leave business on the quiet, and publicly they talk about the fights. That's it. Tyson talks about the money, how he doesn't need money, and is calling AJ greedy, but really, he's always been chasing the check. And I said, there's nothing wrong with him chasing the check. The biggest problem, I suppose, is the fact that when there's like a certain amount of money in the pot to put on a fight, for example, maybe at Wembley Stadium, the pot was, 75 million, for example. Because it's at Wembley Stadium, the price of tickets here in the UK, it's 94,000 plus, and with the pay-per-views here, there's a ceiling, there's a limit as to how much money any fight is going to make at Wembley Stadium. There is. Okay, so if for example, Frank Warren had the pot of, say, 75 million, and Tyson Fury is asking for all 75 million, well, how's he supposed to put the fight on? Because obviously Usyk wants paying, regardless of how much it is that Usyk's getting. And this was a problem with the deal in Saudi, when Usyk and Fury were supposed to be fighting in Saudi. And this is what the Saudis said, which is, that Amir Abdullah, the head of Skills Challenge, the promoter for them, where he says that one of them, i.e. Tyson Fury, was asking for more money than what the whole fight was worth. So they had a pot, whatever that pot was, I'm going to presume 150 million maybe, something like that. Tyson was asking for more money than was actually in the pot. So they can't pay Tyson Fury more money than what's in the pot, plus pay Usyk, plus build this stadium, plus put on an undercard, plus do all the advertisements and all that kind of stuff, because then it's just wasting money. Now, of course, the Saudis, they can well and truly afford it, but it's not about affording it, it's still a business. Just because people have got billions in the bank, like some of these Saudis have, don't mean that they're going to wax it. Of course not. They're still businessmen. They've got that money for a reason, right? So that's the problem when it comes to Tyson. He's asking for more money than what's available. He's outpricing himself. His value he puts at a certain level, when the rest of the world, promoters, managers, other fighters, don't put him on that kind of level. He puts himself on a level that's way too high. And he has to be reasonable in the contract negotiations. He has to be. That's why it's always best for a percentage split. Now, Tyson was saying how he wants 70-30 against Usyk. It's unfair for Usyk to get 30% when he's a unified heavyweight champion. He's undefeated. He didn't even have a draw in his record. Tyson does. Sure, Tyson's a bigger draw in the UK. Is he a bigger draw globally? Well, that's debatable, isn't it? Is he a bigger draw, say, for example, in Saudi Arabia? You wouldn't have thought so, because obviously Usyk has been out there in Saudi Arabia with Anthony Joshua. And when John Fury is saying how Oleksandr Usyk would have got his highest payday fight at Wembley, well, he wouldn't have done. Because there's no way Frank Warren and Bob Arum and whoever was running this show for the fight to happen in Wembley was going to pay Oleksandr Usyk 75 million or more, because we know that was his highest payday against Anthony Joshua in the rematch was 75 million. There ain't no way that he was going to get more than 75 million at Wembley Stadium. No chance. But they've done it on a split, a 70-30 split. Okay, I'll take that. Even though I shouldn't, but I will take it. But if I beat you, Tyson, in the rematch, 70-30 in my favour. But Tyson didn't want to do that because he wanted to do what Joshua done and whatever else. But that's a totally different scenario. It is. This is undisputed. This is champion versus champion. And the winner of that fight would have been undisputed. Temporarily, of course, because then the belts would have been dispersed. But the point is, Tyson didn't take it in case he lost. In case he lost. So, if he was so confident of winning, he'd have went, you know what, you can take 90% in the rematch if you want, I don't care. Because you ain't beating me in the first fight. It ain't going to happen. So, anyway, what John Fury is saying is correct. Yes, Tyson should be chasing the money. And I've always said, and I can't criticise him for chasing the money, except for the fact he's always said he's not about the money. It's just lies. People don't like lies. That's all that is. Okay? Anyway, drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.